morning everybody. Here myself Jibin ma'am once again to start with this new academic during this time of crisis. We have come forward to approach you through online. Hope so you all will be able to interact with us, or you all will be able to help yourselves during this time of crisis. I think all are safe and sound at your home. So I wish all the best in your coming classes, and hope so you will reach out to us in this way. So now I am doing for the 9th standard chemistry class. The topic is matter in our surrounding. The books are not available to you all, so I think you will be very much attentive in what I am teaching and listen carefully, and also you can note down whatever the points I am giving on the board. This is for the 9th standard science class. So be very much attentive in my explanation and try to note down all the important points, because you are not having your textbooks. The first thing in your science is the matter in our surrounding. So what you see around your children? We see many different things around us. We see plants, animals, air. Air we don't see, we feel air. We don't see air, we feel air. We see water, we see stones, we see soil, we see animals. So all these are what? These are particularly they are termed as what? Basically they are known as living and non-living things. They are living and non-living things. We see generally we see in our surroundings living and non-living things. The living things, what are the living things? Plants, animals and microorganisms. The non-living things, what we see? We see soil, air, water, minerals. All these are the non-living things what we see. So whether it is living thing or non-living thing, collectively these two together is known as matter. Living or non-living things. Whether it is living or non-living things, collectively both are known as what? Generally they are known as matter. So in this chapter we are going to see about matter in our surroundings. Okay, matter, what are the different kinds of matter? Okay, in our surroundings. So how will we define matter? What is matter? You all might have studied in your lower classes also. Matter is the anything, any substance, anything, whether it is living or non-living, anything that occupies space and has mass is known as matter. The definition of matter is anything that occupies space and has mass is known as matter. Matter can be living or a non-living thing. For example, book. Book is a matter. Okay, why we say it is a matter? Because it needs space. It needs space. Okay, I am keeping this book on my hand. It is occupying the space. It needs space, and it has mass. Mass is what? Mass is nothing but the content. What is there in the book? Pages are there, papers are there. That is the mass. So anything which has got the mass and which occupies space is known as matter. In ancient times and all, the ancient people and all, and the rishis and the saints and all, when they study about the matter and the particles, they said that all the living things or the non-living things, they are made up of 5 things like air, water, fire, like that they said. But not according to, that is according to the mythological belief. Air, water, soil, fire were the things which the non-living things were, or the living things were made up of. Okay, what they said as Pancha Tattva, earth, air, fire, sky and water. But here in the modern day scientists, we believe that whether it is living or non-living thing, the matter is made up of small particles. Matter is made up of small particles. Okay. So what is matter made up of? Matter is made up of small units known as the particles. The first matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Take down this first point. You can write down in your notebook. Anywhere you can note it down. Okay. So matter is this first point you need to note down. And next one is what? Matter is made up of tiny particles. Tiny particles. Matter is made up of tiny particles. How small are these particles? Okay. Particles of matter have, so when you, the modern day scientist, matter can be classified as solid, liquids and gases. Matter can be classified as solid, liquid and gases. This is also the third important point what you can note down. Whether it is solid, liquid or gas, all these three are no doubt they are matter, but they are made up of what? They are made up of particles. They are made up of tiny particles. How these particles are? When you take in case of any solids, in case of liquid, in case of gases, the particle behavior is different in all the three states. Okay, so matter can be classified, or matter classified, no, matter can exist, you can say. Matter exists. Matter exists in solid, liquid and gaseous state, and this matter is made up of particles. The particle behave in different ways: solid, liquid and the gaseous state. Particles in matter have space between them. So when you take, okay, now I will show you in all the three different things. Solid, liquid, gases. The particles in solid are very closely packed. Very closely packed. For example, if this is the matter which is in solid state, the particles, these are the particles which are very closely attached to each other. Okay, they are very closely attached to each other. Okay, so the space between, they have very least intermolecular space between them. The interparticle space is very less. Intermolecular space is least. Okay, intermolecular space means what? The space between the two particles, the space between the two molecules is least. They are so closely attached to each other that there is no space between them. This and all you have learnt in your lower class also. The intermolecular space between them is least. But in liquids you can see the particles are loosely arranged. Particles are loosely arranged like this. So there is some intermolecular space between them. Okay, there is intermolecular space between them. Intermolecular space between the particles. There is intermolecular space between the particles. That is the type of arrangement of particles in liquids. In liquids, the particles are arranged little far from each other. Okay, you can see there is gap between each particle. So, because of this nature, what happens? Anything can dissolve in liquid. The substances which can dissolve. For example, you put this is water, liquid. You put sugar in liquid. Okay, what will happen? The sugar particles will dissolve in liquid. How? How they dissolve? Where those particles are going? Those particles are occupying the intermolecular space between the particles of the liquid. So whatever the intermolecular space, this is the particle of water. This is water molecule. This is sugar molecule. So because of this arrangement of particles, liquid can diffuse any substances in it. Whether it is gases, whether it is solids, or whether it is any other liquid also. Liquid can diffuse in liquid. Solid can diffuse in liquid, gases can diffuse in liquid. For example, sugar, salt, honey and all, they diffuse in liquid. That means what? Because of this arrangement of particles, because there is intermolecular space between the particles, they are able to come in between and dissolve in them. Okay. Even the gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide and all can diffuse in water. Because of that only the aquatic organisms, the animals which are living in water, the plants which are growing in water are able to thrive in water. They are able to live in water because the oxygen get dissolved in water. Not like in solid. Solid cannot dissolve anything in it. Okay, you cannot mix anything in the solid. But in liquids you can diffuse anything. Diffusion means what? Mixing up of the molecules in the medium. Diffusion is nothing but mixing up of other particles in the liquid is known as diffusion. So when you drop this is water, ink drop when you drop. Okay, just when you put an ink drop in water, how will it be here only? No, it starts diffusing. It starts diffusing in water. In all the parts it gets diffused and the whole water becomes blue in color. That is diffusion. So here the liquid is able to dissolve in itself. This ink, which is also liquid, is able to mix. It's able to dissolve in water. So that is diffusion. Mixing up of one substance into another substance wholly. Wholly it is getting mixed and it's forming one solution. It's forming one part, that is known as what? Diffusion. So because of this particle nature in liquids, most of the substances are able to diffuse in liquid, and that is one advantage for the plants and animals which are living in water. Because oxygen and carbon dioxide is able to dissolve in water, they are using that dissolved carbon dioxide and oxygen in water, and they are able to sustain their life. As we take oxygen and carbon dioxide from air, here in water, air and carbon dioxide are mixed in water, and that dissolved carbon dioxide and water is used by the plants. So that is the particle nature of what? Particle nature in liquid state. And there is the intermolecular force space between the particle is there. There is intermolecular space between the particles. The particles are able to move. They are able to move little. They move. The particles move. Movement in particles. There is movement in particles. So whenever you put water on the floor, it starts moving. So why? Because there is least attraction between them. There is not that much attraction. Here there is more attraction. Okay. There is no movement. No movement of particles. There is no movement of particles. Okay. So why there is no movement of particles? Because there is strong force of attraction between them. Here the two particles are strongly attracted to each other. They are held with a strong force of attraction. Because of that, there is no movement between the particles, so they don't move. That is why solids, they have a very rigid shape structure they have. Okay, but here there is intermolecular space. There is space between the two particles. Because of that, what is happening? There is movement in the particles. The particles are little free to move. Why they are free to move? Because there is less force of attraction. Less force of attraction between the particles. The force of attraction between the particle is less when compared to the force of attraction between the particles in solid. Because of this less force of attraction, the particles are able to move. So they are free to move, not that much. So because of that, what has happened here? In liquids don't have definite shape, but they have got definite volume. Okay, liquids, they don't have any proper shape. They get the shape in which container you are putting. If you put in glass, if you put in a tumbler, they get the shape of the tumbler. If you put in the bowl, they get the shape of the bowl. So there is no definite shape for liquid, because they can acquire any shape in which container you are putting, but they have got definite volume. Okay, they have got definite volume. So that is about the particle arrangement in liquids. In gases, the particles are free to move. The particles are very loosely arranged. Very loosely arranged. The intermolecular space is more than liquids, like this. They are free to move anywhere. Least force of attraction. Least force of attraction between the particles. Because they are very far from each other, because of this type of arrangement, the force of attraction between them is very less. Very less, it is least, we can say. That's why they are able to move anywhere. They are free to move. They don't have any definite shape. They don't have any definite volume. They can occupy anywhere. Understood? So that is about the particle arrangement in solid, liquid and the gases. So in solids, the particles are very closely packed. Intermolecular space is least. No movement of particles because of the strong force of attraction between the particles. In liquids, the particles are loosely arranged. There is intermolecular space between the particles. There is movement in particles because of less force of attraction between them. In gases, the particles are very loosely arranged. They are free to move anywhere because of the intermolecular space is more in liquids and there is least force of attraction. Because there is least force of attraction between them, they are free to move anywhere. They can diffuse in liquids also. they can diffuse in among themselves. Gases can diffuse in liquids, gases can diffuse in other gases also, because there is large amount of space between the particles. So that was about the particle nature in the solid, liquid and gases. This you can note down also. The next about the particle nature. So about the movement of particles. Movement of particles in solids. Movement of particles in solid. Though the solid, for example, any solid you can take, the particles are very closely attached to each other. Okay, we cannot see their movement, but they are continuously vibrating in their place. They are continuously vibrating like this. Will be vibrating in their place. They have some movement in their own place. They are not moving from here to anywhere. Though they are so compactly arranged between themselves, they show some kind of vibration in their own place. They vibrate in their own place. So that vibration, the energy what they are using to move in their own place is known as the kinetic energy. What energy it is? It is known as the kinetic energy. Okay. So when you heat any solid, for example, you heat ice. For example, you take this is ice. These are the particles in the ice. The particles are in the continuous motion in their own place only. They are vibrating with this kinetic energy. When you heat this ice, when you apply heat on this ice, what will happen? This kinetic energy of the particle will increase. Whenever you heat anything, the kinetic energy will increase. The kinetic energy of the particle increase on heating. When you heat, the kinetic energy, these particles will move even more. They show greater movement. So first this particle will vibrate, then the vibration is carried on to the next, Like that, the particles will vibrate, the neighboring particles will start vibrating. One by one they will start vibrating. So this is one particle, this is another particle, this is another particle. First this particle will start vibrating. Then it will give its kinetic energy to the next particle. Then to the next particle. Like that, all the particles will start vibrating, their kinetic energy will increase, and what will happen? Finally, they will change into liquid. Ice will change into liquid. So you can increase the kinetic energy. Even though the solids, the particles are compactly arranged, what is happening? The kinetic energy of the particles can be enhanced by heating the solids. Okay, when you heat the solids, the particles movement becomes more, and because of that, what will happen? They will change into different state. That is the liquid. Again, when you heat liquid, again in the liquids, these are the liquids. Particles in the liquids. When you heat, their kinetic energy also will be enhanced. Their kinetic energy also will increase. So when you boil water, have you seen the boiling water? How the water will be in movement? Okay, the cold water, it will not move that much. Though the intermolecular particles will be moving in their place, but boiling water, you see, it shows greater movement. Why there is greater movement in boiling water? Why the water is moving like that? You can see bubbles also coming out from there. Why there is movement of water in the boiling water? Because the particles have got more energy. Whenever you heat any solid or whenever you heat any liquid, what is happening? The particles will get more energy. The kinetic energy of the particles will increase and they will start moving here and there. So in liquids also, when you heat the liquids, their kinetic energy also will increase and they also start moving. Okay, they also show random movement in their distinct place. And finally, when you heat liquid, they turn into gaseous state. They turn into gaseous state. Okay, so gases when you are heating, again they also move very rapidly. They move very rapidly. When you heat gases also, you see there is random, very maximum movement of the particles you can see when the gases are heated. For example, when something is being cooked in the kitchen, okay, when they are cooking in the kitchen, that fragrance will be reaching to other rooms in our house. Okay, why it is reaching? Because the molecules escape from the hot food and they move very fast. Okay, the molecules which escape from the hot move, they diffuse in the air very fast and they move very fast in the other places. Because of that, we are able to smell the what to say, the fragrance of the hot food very fast than the cold food. The cold food, though you may not smell it soon, we cannot smell it so soon. But in hot food, the particles move very fast and we are able to smell the fragrance of the food to a far distance. Why? Because the gas, in gases, the particles are moving very fast when they are heated and they get diffused in the air very fast when compared to the cold food. Cold food, though the particles may be in the air, the particles are getting diffused, they will not move very fast because they have less kinetic energy. Okay, the kinetic energy of the particles will increase when they are heated. So what is the point here? You have to note down kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is what? The kinetic energy is nothing but the energy with which the particles are moving. The particles have got some energy in them. With that energy, they are moving in their place. That is known as the kinetic energy. It is known as the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy of matter increases on heating. On heating. Okay. So that is also important point when compared to the particle nature of the solid, liquid, and gases. All the three states, they have got some kinetic energy in their own state, that is solid, liquid, and gas particles. They have got kinetic energy. This kinetic energy can be enhanced by heating. Okay, when you heat, the kinetic energy of the particles will increase and they move from one place to another place. The movement is possible. The greater movement is possible when we heat the substances. Okay. Now about the compressibility. Okay, what do you mean by compressibility? Compressibility. Compressibility means the act of bringing the particles near to them. Okay, for example, sponge you have. You can press the sponge. Okay, sponge you can press. You can make the shape of the sponge or you can make it to a smaller size. Sponge you can make it to a smaller size. But this duster, can you press and make it to make it smaller? We cannot, because you cannot compress the solids. Compressibility is what? What do you mean by compressibility? Pressing the substances and making it smaller. Solids cannot undergo compression. There is no compressibility in solids. And solids cannot be compressed. As I said, this is the duster, it cannot be compressed. Why it cannot be compressed? Because there is no intermolecular space. There is no intermolecular space between the particles. The particles, they are already tightly packed. Further they cannot be compressed. Okay, further they cannot be brought nearer. So you cannot compress because there is no space between the particles. Already they are so much compressed that further they cannot be compressed. So you cannot compress solids. For example, sponge. Sponge can be compressed. You can press the sponge and you can make it into a smaller one. Why? Because there are air particles in it. Okay. In solid there is air also. Okay. Because the air is there, you are pressing. That air is coming out. Because some space is there in the sponge. In sponge, some spare air particles are there. Some empty spaces are there, which are filled with air. So when you press that, what will happen? That air will come out, and you are making the sponge into a smaller size. So liquids also, they don't show that much compressibility. They can be compressed, not like gases. Okay, in liquids can be compressed slightly. They can be compressed but not to that much extent as in gases because they have little intermolecular space between them. When compared to gases, gases can be compressed to a wider range. Okay, gases can be compressed. Why gases can be compressed? Because they have more intermolecular space between them. Okay, the intermolecular space between the gas is more. So you can bring those particles to each other so that the gap is made less between them, and that's why they can be compressed. There is more gap between the two particles between each other. Because of that gap, because by putting pressure, when you put pressure, what will happen? The gases will be compressed. Okay, for example, in syringe, you are able to push the piston of the syringe inside the tube. How? Because of the pressure. When you apply pressure, what will happen? The gases can be compressed. Okay. For example, in LPG cylinders, what we are using, LPG cylinders, CNG cylinders, we are using in the house. They are what? They are LPG, what we say, is liquefied petroleum gas. The nature of this gas is they are in the gaseous state. Because they are compressed, they have compressed with pressure, they have changed to liquid. And the fuel which is stored in our cylinder, it is in the liquid form. It is in liquid form because after compressing, what is happening? It is changing into liquid. CNG also, it is a compressed natural gas. That is another kind of fuel. That is also compressed and it is stored in the cylinder because it can accommodate more fuel can be accommodated in cylinders. They are compressed and they are stored in the cylinders for our easy use. So when this LPG gas, when we are using, when they come out in the low pressure, what happens? When the pressure is lowered, again they become into gas. They change into gaseous state, and that is what we are using. On applying pressure, what happens? The gases can be compressed more. Mostly the gases can be compressed than the liquids. The solids cannot be compressed to that much. So that was about the third property of the particle nature of the solid, liquid and the gases. So that was about the compressibility. The third point was about the compressibility. So we'll stop the class here. What are the necessary points? You can note it down. Till now, whatever I have taken, roughly you can note it down. Later, when I give the notes, the written notes will be given to you. That time you can note it down in a proper way. So this is the lesson notes what you have to go through. Till we meet in the next class. Thank you.